What is the deal, YouTube? This is your guy, Tyler Anderson.
And your boy, Aaron Patterson.
And I want to introduce you guys to another episode of Clutch City Connect. And in today's episode, I have a special guest with me, my main man, one guy that I've been cool with for a very long time. His name is LeBrent Walker. But like you guys know how I do, I'm not going to tell you who this guy is. I'm going to let my main man speak for himself and let you guys know who he is.
Thank you. Thank you for the phenomenal introduction, my man. Thank you for the phenomenal introduction, man. Me, LeBrent Walker. I'm a coach here at AZ. Got a long history of basketball. I'm just out here, man, doing the best I can, trying to become the best coach I possibly can be. I'm a worker, motivator, competitor, leader, and I got a little bit of entrepreneurship in me. So I'm out here working, brother. And it's nice to be on the show. Let's get to it, man.
Let's get to it. So, man, you say you're a coach, right? So, who are you coaching for? What do you do? And like, can you tell me something that you do to provide for the community as a coach?
Out here in Arizona, this is my first year out here in Arizona. So from my brand in New York, with a lot of kids that I know and a lot of kids in the DMV area that we try to get them into youth sports. That's a big thing I do for the community, trying to make sure these kids are getting off the streets and pursuing a dream of basketball, or any sports, tennis, basketball, football, but just getting them off the streets. I'm advocating for that for sure. I coach here at AZ, Arizona Compass Prep. It's a small little prep school, kind of like a charter school. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but a charter school. We kind of hold about 600 kids, and a lot of these kids are I would say not at-risk kids, but we have a big basketball community. And with that basketball community, we try to get these kids from middle school all the way into their high school playing days and build them up to be successful basketball players. So that's what we're pursuing out here. Getting these kids that's in the community and all around the country to come out here and show that they can play the sport of basketball at a high level.
That's amazing.
Yep. And then so I want to say, speaking of making sure that the kids are there and they're able to play at a high level. So outside of that, what are some expectations for that program outside of them playing at a hard level?
Expectation is to win. We build a culture here. And with that culture, we're providing these kids with to hold themselves accountable, responsible, high mental toughness, building their self-esteem as well on the court, confidence. All these things can approach us to winning. So we want to win at the end of the day, but we also want to hold these kids from becoming young boys to young men, excuse me. So we build a culture, and we like these kids to follow our culture. We're trying to get them to the highest level of basketball, as I said before, putting them at a high Division I level. But at the end of the day, Geico is our goal. Like, we're trying to get to Geico. We're trying to win. We're trying to win as much games as possible. And at the end of the day, we got to the Geico championship last year. Although I wasn't on the staff, we did get there last year, but we ended up losing. So this year we're trying to get back there and catch a win. But most importantly is to win and build these young boys to become young men when they get to the one level.
For sure. So, LeBrent, I want to talk about you a little bit. So, I would like for you to kind of open up to us, talk to us about a little bit of some hardships that you went through in your life and why it's important to push the youth to get into sports and how it correlates with life.
Yes, definitely. So me growing up, I had a little difficult life. I wouldn't say it was too crazy, but just going through the foster care system, living in the shelter, having these things, these tough traumatical pasts that I went through, it built me. It built my character, especially on the court. Knowing that you have hardships on the court, it kind of correlates with life. I had my hardship in life to get through these hard times, but on the court, you got times where you're dealing with stress. You got things that's going off the court, your family issues, and all these things you got to focus in on being a great basketball player once you step into that rectangle. So if we can know how to build that mental toughness off the court, especially going through the things that other children go through on the court, we can build those things as well. And it's also, freedom when you get on the court. It's a coping mechanism for guys that do play basketball, that love basketball. Once they get on the court, they feel free, but you have your trials off the court. So we try to put those things in where you get on the court and you're mentally free and you're able to be who you are on that court. And when you get off, you're able to control the things you can control off the court. So we just with my past, it helped me playing basketball, and it got me to where I am now, getting my master's degree, going to LSU, and further on, just having an opportunity to do things I love as far as coaching basketball. So we're definitely trying to get these kids to understand that basketball has the immediate hardship, but if you can get over that hurdle with basketball, it's kind of easier for you to get over that hurdle within life.
For sure. So also, I've seen a lot of training videos from your Instagram. Man. I'll be tuned in when LeBrent Walker posts something. I always go and look because I've always respected you as a player. I knew about you because I was class of 2012 as well, so I knew about you as a player. And so me seeing that you're training, it motivated me to try to get back into it, but I know it's just something that I don't want to do, at least not right now in the short term. But I do want to ask, can you talk to us a little bit about your experience, not only as a coach but as a trainer as well?
Training, man. So I had a trainer, man. I'm gonna shout him out, Wiz, and hopefully he sees it. But Wiz, he was one of my trainers when I was very young, like fifth grade to like eighth, ninth grade. I was training with him, and he always like laid a ton of gems on us. Like me and my guys, like JT, one of my best friends, Lloyd Wheeler, one of my best friends. He always laid gems on us, and we didn't really understand it until I got to this age now that I am now. And with that being said, I'm like, man, like he laid all these gems to push me for me to pursue my dream while I can train and do the same thing and lay gems on the road that I took. Just working your tail off, putting your head down and working. So with the training thing, it comes in again. It plays a role in life. You have tough times when you're training too, or you're not as good as you want to be at that time, and it takes time and patience. So I'm building patience with these kids. I'm building confidence. I'm building self-esteem so they can get on the court and play, even if they make mistakes. Teaching them the ways and the tricks of the trade of the game. So training, I get to bless the kids with the knowledge that I had growing up, and some of the opportunities I didn't get, they can possibly get now, especially if they're working their tails off and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing the right thing. So always trying to preach doing the right thing and also being a student athlete. So that's a big thing, is trying to push these kids to make sure they're also staying in school and also working hard on the court.
That's the most important thing that you said, my man, because those three things are very key. Patience, making sure the
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
are in school. I mean, that's just the most important
Yeah.
thing. And sometimes I feel like it's something that's missing when coaches and trainers are working with these kids. A lot of times they see the dollar sign, but they don't see, like, if I
Mm-hmm.
can make this kid's life not only better on the court but off the court as well, I'm actually being more of a benefit to them instead of looking at the dollar sign. You get what I mean? So
Right.
uh, that's phenomenal.
You
That's
you become so much more leader when you train. You become so much more of a leader when you train. You don't even know it really. Like so many kids look up to you, especially when you're leading them in the right direction. Some of these kids, I'm not saying all, but a lot of kids don't have like fathers in their home, or they may not have their mother in their home, and they're missing some type of love or something that they're just not receiving. And for you to be a trainer and a coach, and to provide them with that with those gems, or just with some words of wisdom, even if just showing them that they can possibly do it, it kind of helps them even in school. So yeah, being a trainer is dope, man. Being a trainer is dope. Being a coach is dope. I'm not saying this is all easy. There are times where it's difficult when you're training even the younger kids, but just to watch them develop is also dope. So yeah, it's basically a big time leader role though, being a trainer and a coach.
for sure, my man. So I kind of want to segue into your role as a former basketball ops coordinator of the LSU Tigers, one school that I actually did want to go to. So I want to talk about what was your role as in that position, and can you talk to us a little bit about some of your favorite memories from that time with the LSU Tigers?
Yeah. So my first 2 years, man, like I didn't finish school like when I was supposed to finish, I had my daughter, and then like I was like going in and out of school, and I'm like, man, I gotta graduate. I got an opportunity. One of my the basketball world community is small, but it's large at the same time. So it's an umbrella of people that you can know to get you where you want to get and who you want to talk. It's networking. Like the basketball community is very networking. This is like the podcast community, like with you guys. Once you learn how to network, and the network word is so broad, but once you conversate with the right people, let me say it like that, and you build relationships with the right people, you guys can expand crazy. But I ended up finishing school, taking some the opportunity with LSU came along with the graduate assistant spot. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but I was a graduate assistant first. It's like top tier manager, but you just gotta drop your ego. Like all of us that play competitive sports, you had a big ego. You have to be super competitive. It's a lot of things to be that guy. So I had to drop my ego coming in, being like a manager or a graduate assistant. Gotta run on the court and wipe some sweat sometimes. I'm not a fan of it. I wasn't a fan of it, but I did whatever I had to do to make sure I'm learning it as much as I possibly can, because I gotta humble myself at the end of the day. And I did that. That was one of my, like, for me, those 2 years as a GA, I met all the managers, I met all the GAs that was there. I got a chance to actually live with the team. So I was living with the guys and just like not studying them, but just making sure they don't do too much. But those 2 GA years were just super dope. I got it with me being with the managers and talking to them and building a good friendship. But after the 2 years I got on staff, probably my best experience was going 16-2 in conference. 16-2, we lost 2 games and we won the SEC conference championship. I got a ring for that one, but that was probably like Nas Reed, Tremont Waters, Skylar Mays, Cavell Bigby, Marlon Taylor, Emmett, Darius Days. Man, we were loaded, man. And then when I first came here, Javante, we were loaded, man. Like that was a crazy year. Then we beat Kentucky at Kentucky with the tip in, bro. Like,
that was a good game.
Like to be in that environment, like beating Arkansas at Arkansas in overtime, like that year was just beating Florida at Florida, overtime. Like it was a phenomenal. That was just a phenomenal year. Like that whole experience in itself, was just it was magical, man. And going to the Sweet 16, like this is when Zion was at Duke, and you know what I'm saying. That was a good game. We ended up losing to Michigan State. They were good, but like, and if we would have won that game, we'd play Duke. Like, oh my gosh, it was just. That year was just special. So that year for me was probably like my most magical year. But me getting on staff after that for 2 years, and then Tari Easton coming in. He was coming in from Cincinnati. I knew who he was, but didn't know who he was. But before I get into him, as a coordinator of ops, like director of ops and coordinator of ops, I worked under him. I was basically assistant under Nelson Hernandez. But it's like that bridge where administrators meet the head coach. Like we're that bridge. That's where ops is. Like we're that bridge. We got to be the good guys to like kind of mesh everything together, especially the basketball program and the administrative staff. So we did. I just handle a lot of the traveling. I couldn't do too many workouts because I can't be on the court. But as a GA, I was on the court a little bit here and there. But just handling the traveling, the schedule. Because scheduling is big time when you go into that level of play. The meals, man, I messed up on one meal one time, and I thought my heart was going to break because we would have lost that game. It kind of would have been my fault. Yeah, being Mississippi State, so I felt good about almost messing up the meal. But meals, hotel planning, everything that has to do with planning, logistics, and all that stuff like that. I kind of the guy that was pushing all the other work on me to just show me the ropes, throwing me in the fire, which was good because I learned the business side of things, like the business aspect of basketball and all the stuff that the money and everything that comes to basketball in general. So me being ops was like super helpful. Me being ops first, not just coming in as assistant coach and not knowing anything about ops. Now I kind of have an idea of what I can do when I get to the next level. If I happen to get an ops job, I know how to control and manage and facilitate the things that we can do as a team. So, man, LSU was 4 years at LSU, man. Football games. Remember, we went 15-0 in the football game too. So that was a crazy year. Crazy year. Like Justin Jefferson, like
and
you had to
Jamar
be there, bro.
Chase.
And
Jamar Chase,
Chase, bro.
Man, bro, it was almost like NFL and NBA together, like almost because that was an NFL team. It was an NFL team. Like that was it was a complete team. And then like us, we were winning. But then we went like I don't know if we lost more than 5 games that year, maybe 6 games. I'm not too sure how many games we lost that year. Probably less than that. But going 16-2 in conference, 8-0 on the road, fucking crazy. Excuse me, sorry, it was crazy.
You're fine, man. You're good. So
That's goes on with the women's basketball teams too, and man, they take them off.
The women's, they did it last year, but like, yeah, okay. I'm not gonna say it was bad, but they were okay for what's it? I can't remember the coach's name. The women's coach name. That's their name.
I don't know what her name is.
Moki.
I don't know, but she had like a 10-year contract or something.
Moki, I believe her name is Moki, yeah, something like that.
Ooh, 10? Oh yeah, she said.
Championship, bro. What? Yeah, like she's from Louisiana too. She went to Tech. What is it? Louisiana Tech? Yeah. She went to Tech, and she she won a national championship with them too. Like she's a winner. Like her resume is win. Like Moki, Coach Moki, she wins wherever she goes. She went to Baylor, won. Went coached at Tech, won. Went to LSU. First year she was okay, and then second year won. Like it just, I don't know how she does it. Whatever she does, I watched a few of her practices. She's an alpha. Alpha now. Yeah, she motivates those players, man. She motivates those players.
So, LeBrent, I kind of want to segue away from the college basketball side of everything, and I actually want to talk to you about not only Tari Easton, but I also want to talk to you about the Houston Rockets. So, with the Houston Rockets, or rather, I'll say with Tari Easton, what are some of your favorite memories from him being an LSU Titan?
Man, like, let me tell you one memory. Like, I don't know if you guys remember when we played Tennessee and he dunked on dude at Tennessee. You remember that?
I remember that.
Bro.
Hey, that was crazy.
It lives rent free in my head right now, by the way. So
hey, that dude's feelings was hurt.
That yeah, when we played up in it may have been it was Lake Charles. It wasn't Thibodeau. It was in Lake Charles. We played Louisiana Tech there. And then Tari Easton like went baseline and went under the rim and like tomahawked it under the rim. It was crazy. Like this dude, special individual, man. Special. We already knew he was a pro. We knew he was a pro when he first came, but from his numbers from Cincinnati, like he wasn't shooting that many threes. He was playing like the big man role. Like it was just so different compared to where we played him at. And like the system that we had set up for him, it was like almost built for him to be, because he was averaging like 16 and 8, something crazy, like 16 and it was some crazy numbers he was averaging SEC. Like we knew he was gonna be pro. But like the length he has, his jumper, like he was shooting like 40% from the 3 at the time, like just outrageous numbers, like 50% from the field. Like it was outrageous numbers. And that's from his work ethic, bro. Mm-hmm. Like honestly, like being there, you guys don't see like the the work that's happening like behind closed doors. So like he was faithfully in the gym. Like he may laugh and joke a lot, but one thing I could say about him, like he was in the gym after practice, in the gym in the morning. Like he was on a mission. Like he knew like this year I'm going to be a pro. Like and I want to be a pro. And I don't want to say I'm sad that he and had a special year at LSU, and for me to witness that was dope. For me to see the development from him coming in being like a 5 almost at Cincinnati, or 4 that wasn't really able to shoot and show his talent, to coming in being able to shoot threes, coming in driving and kicking and making decisions and scoring at will when he wanted to. Dope to see. But I definitely see him putting the work. Like, he was a worker. He was one of those guys that just worked, bro, and it kind of worked in his favor. And the basketball gods blessed him to get to the league.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And Mama Easton, don't forget about her either. Mama Easton.
Yeah. You follow her? You follow Mom? Yeah, I met Mom, man. Mom is woman. She's gonna make sure every. But I was with when Tari had came to like I guess see the school and all that stuff. That I was like driving her around and stuff like that. So I got an opportunity to meet and talk to her. She gonna make sure she has another son too, a smaller one. He's probably gonna be tall and just like Easton. He has a little brother that's always around. I don't know if you've seen the little brother, but
I seen him in a video with Ty Washington, but way before he was traded. I don't know if you remember that video, Aaron, but I think it was for Ty Washington Jr.'s birthday. It was somebody's birthday, something going on.
Yeah, he's he's involved. Like he's around. Like, he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna turn out to be actually good in basketball because, of course, he's around basketball so much, but he's in the area. Like, he's always around basketball. Like, she knows what she's doing. She built a pro. Like, think about it. She built a pro, so she has an idea of what to do and how to get her next son there. So she's doing the same thing for the youngest one. And man, kudos to her for having a pro. Kudos to her for pushing Tari the way he's at and being who she is and not changing up for anyone. And man, kudos to her, man. She definitely built a pro, man.
All right, LeBrent. So, if I may ask, can I ask you just one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, my man. So, with Tari now being a Houston Rocket,
mm-hmm.
How do you feel about his role with the team currently? And how do you feel, because he had a strong rookie campaign. I don't care what no one else says. I believe he did his thing the whole season. And matter of fact, I think he was one of the few players to actually play the full season last season. And I know it's a little off tangent, but just giving him kudos because he's one of my favorite Rockets. So, LeBrent, how do you feel that he contributes to this team? Because a lot of people seem to talk a lot about Fred VanVleet coming and Dylan Brooks, but I feel like, especially with Amen Thompson coming in, and now you got Cam Whitmore, but I feel like Tari Easton is one of those guys that's kind of being put in the back door, like behind everyone. But I feel like he has so much potential. So what are your thoughts on his role with the team, and how do you feel that he benefits the Houston Rockets?
I think the fact that they're all coming, I mean, I think he's gonna learn off Dylan Brooks. Like, they're both gonna be phenomenal defenders. I'm saying Dylan Brooks is what more so like, I don't know if you want to call him an NBA vet. He's been in the game for like 5 years now, maybe. How many years has it been? 3, maybe 3 to 5 years now. I can't remember when he came out. 5 years now, right? 5, okay, in that range, 5 to 10 or 3 to 10, whatever you want to. That range. But he knows the ins and outs. Like, you got some vets in there in that locker room now. You got some bodies in there. Remember, Houston was a young team before we got these trades in. Like, not a lot of vets in there, young team. These guys are just out here playing. They weren't, and they're not for right now. In this last 2 years, they weren't a winning organization, right? Besides when like James Harden and you got all these they were winning. So it took a back seat when they did all these trades. So now you bring vets in that Memphis, they won. VanVleet has a NBA championship. So you're bringing in something good. What I see, and I know what he can be, but the league has their guys. But like a phenomenal like utility guy, honestly speaking, can do all things. And he's literally a jack of all trades. Really, he can pull up and transition. He can make decisions. He can attack the rim. He can shoot the open shot. So he's gonna have so many roles. And I see, like, for this G League. Think about the G League. He was playing with what is it called? He was playing out there, and he was actually hooping out there. And everyone was like, man, this guy, like, he's gonna be a guy that's gonna last in the league a long time. and which is what he can do. Like, I don't know if he's going to be that superstar guy because they have two guys coming in, but a utility guy that can show his realm of talents, like as far as rebounding, defending, shooting a three, attacking the paint, making decisions, making sure he's getting in the paint to close the defense out and getting these guys open. So he's going to be. I don't know if he's going to be in the back burner too much because Dylan Brooks is there, and they kind of, I wouldn't say they kind of play the same role, kind of. They didn't both the same height, kind of do some similar things. I think Dylan could probably shoot a little bit more, but yeah, he's going to be like for me, he's going to be more of a utility guy. He's going to do a lot of things that can show his talent again. But that's what I can see from what the Rockets going to give, especially having those vets in the locker room.
For sure. So I want to ask you, because I do know that you're not a fan of the Houston Rockets. What are your overall thoughts on the Houston Rockets? I just want to know. I just want to know.
Man, like these last 2 years, like they weren't doing so good. But I watched them in the summer league, man. Like those draft picks, man, they're going to help them a lot. I don't know how much. I think Van Vliet is going to do well. I don't know how much of a push he's going to give you guys to like compete in that play-in game. I'm not going to even say playoffs right now. You guys got to at least get in the play-in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think Dylan is going to bring that defensive mindset. Like Brooks is bringing in, I'm here to guard. I mean, we saw what he can do against we saw what he can do in the Olympics. And the Olympics is tough. You're wrong. Like the Olympics is good. He had 30 balls. So we saw that he can score the basketball too. But I think he's just going to bring that defensive mindset that they need, that leadership role. In Memphis, he wasn't much so of a leader. He had John Morant, got some other guys, but he can bring that leadership role and change the aspect of the defense for Houston Rockets. You guys are like probably last in defense. I don't know your defense. So this is going to be something that he has to take that role in. And again, you have Tari Easton that can guard the 1 through the 5 almost. So like, come on now, you got them two on the floor can guard the 1 through the 5, and they both can score the basketball. It's going to be. I don't know. I think you're going to be better than you were last year. I don't know how far you're going to get. I think you still need some pieces, some other pieces, a little bit more stardom. But I think you guys can make a little bit of noise, which is going to be good for Houston.
For sure. Because only reason why I ask, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of add today, is because I think the future of the Rockets not only hangs in the balance of how Jalen Green develops and how Alperen Sengun develops, but also how Tari Easton develops. Really, how all of these first-round picks that they're selecting develop. We see that, unfortunately, Ty Washington isn't here anymore. Josh Christopher was shipped off to Memphis. So I feel like there is more of a sense of urgency now, especially with Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun going into year 3, but also with Tari Easton developing, because these are going to be the core guys, the main pieces of the team for the future, So this is something that I feel like is something that is important, especially when it comes to Tari Easton. But LeBrent, I want to let you know, my man, I appreciate you so much for coming on the show to come hang with us, come talk some hoops. This is your guy, Tyler Anderson.
And your boy, Aaron Patterson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. LeBrent Walker, man. I'm so City Connect. LeBrent Walker, man. I'm so excited to be on the show, man. I appreciate you for even reaching out to me to talk to you, man, about basketball, man. Anytime, bro. Like, if we get a chance, man, I can get some people on this show, man. I'm going to push for it. I appreciate you, Aaron. I appreciate you, Tyler, for giving me the opportunity to, to share a little bit of news on my man Tari. I definitely gonna reach out to him and see what he can do for you all. But thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, man.
It's not a problem, man. I'm gonna let the viewers know, if you guys can, please like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you share this video. Share as much as you can. This is your guy, Tyler Anderson.
And your boy, Aaron Patterson.
And this is Clutch City Connect. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.